are gonna go into our open mic. We're gonna keep on sending love and trying to read comments. Keep on tagging James W. and myself at Amy Newman. But we got ex-Hindu atheists hanging out with us. Woo-hoo.
Got Shane out there. Hey, Shane.
We are. What is up, Shane? We are Midnight Ranting. We are opening up the open mic on faith healing. What is up, ex-Hindu atheist? It is fantastic to have you on with us. Hope your night or day is doing well. And we're ranting on faith healing. What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, thanks for having me on the line. It's actually a day in India here. So thanks very much for taking me. And it's great to know about the topics you have been discussing here. And it's actually great because actually I would say faith healing happens according to different religion in a very different way, different regions. And I think this is, you would say, the most obscurantist thing in 21st century, I would say. Say, for example, I've seen even in India or even in some places in India where people don't go to doctors, they go to what they say as spiritual healers. They go to them or they try consulting them or something like that. Maybe some you can talk about. I think I would recommend you search a little bit of Tantrism, Tantrism, Tantrism in Google, so you will get an idea. So people actually go to them, okay, who believe in that sort of ideas and think that they will get their diseases cured instead of going to doctor, instead of going to hospitals. And there is a lot of pseudoscience in India as well, I would say. Of course, I'm not saying it's only in India, but I think it's there worldwide, but in a very different way, in a different sense, I would say. But it's kind of exists. So one of the important questions that any faith healing asks, who tells that it is a very successful thing, my first question is, what about those people when they die or when they face some health problems or side effects? So what do you have to say on that, really, due to the process of faith healing? People go into depression, people go even into some suicide mode. Okay, so what do you have to say? Who is responsible for that? People hardly look at that answer. But when it comes to one or two success, they just gather and say, and they make it big. Oh, see, this is very, very successful. This is very, very great. So I think it's important to question on the probability where it fails, when it fails, and who is accountable for that failure in that process. So I think that's one way to counter, I would say. Yeah.
Thank you so very much, ex-Hindu atheist.
Yeah, thanks.
And
who do you blame when it fails?
Yeah, that's a very important thing. And I think recently, if I'm not wrong, there are many countries, I think, I don't remember, but I think it's in Europe, they got rid of this conversion therapy, the LGBTQ, that thing, what they do. They, I think, got rid of it. I think that's a great news.
Did they ban it in Europe?
Is it United Kingdom or is it France? I just don't remember the name, but it was certainly somewhere in Europe.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good, because conversion therapy is terrible.
The more ridiculous nonsense pseudoscience we can get rid of that hurts people, the better, right?
Well, the irony is in the name of, they generally we don't support child abuse. Now we need to electrocute this kid. Excuse me?
No. You can
Oh no, we're
continue.
just
Yeah.
telling them that it makes Jesus sad when they be who they are. Jesus made them that way, Amy, but it makes him so sad when they be
Jesus
who they
cried.
are. Yeah,
I
Jesus is
yeah
crying, Amy.
yeah that's true. I think one of the main paradoxes I would say is ever since 16th century there is record of nuns who have been lesbians. I mean, there was no kind of idea of conversion therapy then why you bring it now here? That doesn't make sense either, actually. um, Also, we have a channel, Rational Thinkers YouTube channel, where we have done live with Ali Rizvi and others. uh, if you are free, I would invite you to come on our channel and do live with us, so it would be great.
Sure, and I
Okay.
will say, if you get me the link, I try and support and
Yeah, she'll
shill
post
for.
it out.
Basically, if you are an atheist, skeptic, or even I would say non-believer, friendly, or ally, I am all for connecting you up.
Yeah. So let me share the links once again. Yeah.
And I also will
Put it in the
say,
private
while
chat.
he's finding that, and we are going to go into open discussion, we are midnight ranting on faith healing, and we got skeptics here. And I will say there are not believers that are also skeptics, but if you do believe in faith healing, please come on and join us. I think Don Willis is a believer who agrees with us on the subject. He says exactly,
Yeah.
I've always said about these healers, if it's true, why is it only between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. at the local civic center? I know, it's funny how that magic powers work. By all means, catch a cab to the cancer ward, fraudulent. And hey, I will say there are times where I think the theist and atheist can really team up. It's subjects like this. It's things like prosperity gospel.
Prosperity preacher. Yeah.
Sometimes, you just know they're full of nonsense because, they're telling us that the emoji movie confirms God. That's sends in love, Brian.
At the commander level, but
Only
you need
at
to
the
be
commander
a
level.
paying member to send those emojis, Amy. So
And that's how
you have
God
to
does the
be a
most
paying
work.
member.
You see, you have to send the
Right.
check to God. And then once they get the check, they can do God's work. Do you understand how that works?
At the commander
At the
level.
commander.
So very important.
Yeah. So I have put the links in the private chat. You can just look at it. Yeah. So we do live because being in India, we do live in the local language. So you may not understand Hindi. Or do you understand Hindi?
I don't,
Kimboga does.
but that would be
I don't.
amazing.
Okay.
I know. I was going to say.
So
Or scammer payback. Pierogi. Yeah, he speaks in a little Hindi.
yeah. So we do lives in mostly in that language because we are more local, so familiarity. But we are also open to English and
Absolutely.
other. So Rational Thinkers is one platform. We also have another where we like to interact with the international atheists and rationalists. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which you don't normally get from faith healing because there is no evidence.
There's no there.
What's up, John Edwards? What is
Hey,
up,
John.
Comrade Jerry? What is up, everyone in the interwebs? Man, I will say, if you're someone believing in faith healing, you must be bubbling. Or maybe, hopefully, maybe this is getting through. You're thinking, hey, maybe that priestess laying both of their hands on someone, or as ex-Hindu Atheists was saying, it doesn't have to be Western. It's also in Eastern traditions true. When people are desperate, they go to both of these types of religious organizations, institutions, whatever you can, they try to seek non-medical advice. And man, I would rather people just donate to whatever institution. There are some horrible diseases out there. Please just donate to them. What were you saying?
Yeah. So whether you like it or not, we convert the viruses into gods in India.
Say that again?
Viruses are converted into gods and goddesses. And worshipping them makes that go away. So when coronavirus was there, it was converted into a goddess statue and said, by worshipping this, you get rid of it.
And then just convert from one to the other.
And then in India, there has been a long kind of, I would say, pseudoscientific tradition that if you get a smallpox or if you get chicken pox, there is a goddess for that which you need to appease so that it comes down.
The goddess of chickenpox, which please don't get confused with the god of chicken when you just want to make a good baked chicken.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are tons of that like that. And there is something like Ayurveda, so which believes that certain parts of body can be cured or held by some enchanting or chanting of some mantras. So they chant sometimes in between. There are people like that who believe that goes away. In fact, there are even priests, religious priests, who claim reading a scripture can cure cancer. Reading a Hindu scripture can cure cancer as well. So you will have such type of ridiculous priests as well in India.
And there's two reactions to that. My first reaction was to laugh. I really was. And then it hits you in the face how dangerous that is. Like, wow, because you should be seeking all of the medical knowledge available to someone when we're dealing with things like cancer, AIDS, anything that really we are trying to get a lock on. And if it is something, there are diseases that science currently really doesn't have a lock on, like Alzheimer's, where we are starting to get better at. Nonetheless, should you then use money?
Yeah, there's still a long way to go.
These frauds? No, please use that money to, number one, make sure that you have the best medical treatment and science known to man. And if there is any money left over, then please just donate it towards more research into that disease. That is, I believe, the only thing we can do.
I mean, there are even claims that actually, I would say even there are claims that, especially, have you heard of Sadhguru? Is it Sadhguru? He is like.
Oh, it's a person?
Yeah, a religious leader from India, Sadhguru.
No, I haven't, but so tell us more.
He spreads a lot of pseudo-scientific things, and he claims that his meditation technique can cure all diseases and can make your life healthy forever.
Of course.
And then he quotes selective research to say there is some gamma radiation happening inside your brains.
That makes you gamma Superman? Waves. Oh no, sorry. Okay.
So you will have such pseudo-scientific people. One of them, another you can look at is Deepak Chopra, who claims some many ridiculous things.
Deepak Chopra is very well known here. He makes just the best word salad you have ever asked for. Like, you get a nice dressing on there, and James, are you still here? Sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's
I'm here. No, I'm here. Did we lose him?
He might come back in a second.
He'll be back.
What's up, Wild Eden?
Hey, Wild.
We are Midnight Ranting on Faith Healing.
That we are.
Why it is such a snake oil salesman deal. Wavy Particle says yes, and remember the serpent on the
For
staff.
people,
Oh,
hello, yeah.
you're back,
Oh,
and I'll bring
Yeah,
up
I'm
Wavy's
back, I'm
comment
back.
in a second.
Yeah.
Again. Oh.
Yeah. So Deepak Chopra, it's actually like you might have seen clowns in a circus playing around with the balls. So that's what he is doing with the
Like
words.
playing around with
Does
balls. What were we talking-
so it really doesn't make sense that what he says, he doesn't provide the data, he doesn't provide any substance.
And anyone who
Still,
makes a claim that says they can cure you of everything, they're going to cure you of having a really heavy wallet. That is the only thing that they will cure.
And they're good at
yeah,
that too.
and
That they are.
and
But-
you know,
Oh, I just want to read because I was already half, and now I feel bad. Yes, and remember the serpent on the staff that children of Israel were told to look to for healing, similar to atheist Hindus' account. There is, unfortunately,
The children
a
of
lot-
Israel, Shmishmael.
Children of Israel, Israel. There's a lot of fraudsters of basically every religion.
Yeah.
What were you about to say, ex-Hindu atheist?
yeah, that's true. If you even come to Islam, okay, they have a system called Unani, and they say like there is play of Allah. They even suggest, I believe it or not, there will be some Muslims apologetics who will suggest that Muhammad is the first doctor and he gave a camel urine to cure all diseases.
No, not even close to true. Even if you tried, I don't believe he was a merchant. I think he was actually a successful merchant. But even if you were to claim that he was a doctor, he was not the first doctor. We have recorded thousands of years of history before him.
Yeah, that's true.
Was it the first doctor?
I'm learning so much about Islam. Like they claim that, or like they really suggest, hint, hint, wink, wink, that Alexander the Great was a Muslim. I don't know how to tell Muslims this. No, he wasn't. He was not.
You know, if you come to India, if you come to India, you will have people who will tell, we Hindus were the first to discover American continent thousands and thousands of years back before Columbus, 5,000 years back.
I'm pretty sure
there is a Hindu.
Someone walked across the street.
So there was a scholar in 19th century India who claimed that wife of Arjun in Mahabharata, there is one character Arjun, wife of him was from America. Some ridiculous claims there.
Oh, are you talking about, because you're making me think of Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith claimed that the original Israelites came from America. And that is just, I don't know what drugs he was on. Actually, I do know what drugs he was on. It was called money.
Do you? Ah.
And in what you would observe commonly is, in 95% of the so-called faith healing cases, so-called, is all paid money. I mean, the victim was already paid money. The person who heals is also paid money. And they put up a show. It's like a theatrical drama.
Well, and
in 95% of the cases.
I was looking at some of these, and the way that they do it is they will take someone who has maybe trouble seeing. And so what they will do is they will create a story about how they can never see, or they have trouble walking down the stairs, and they will paint where they are this really where they basically can't see at all. And so then they will do the laying hands, and they'll do the theatrics, and the maybe they'll spritz them with water and all this, and oh demon, I pray out of ye, or whatever. Maybe they send enough emojis get hit in the person's
at
face.
The girl dick level. Oh
exactly. And then what they will do is they will set up a test that really has little to do with sight. So they'll do something like, all right, and now for the reveal. All right, Bob, follow me. Can you follow? Oh my God, he's following me. And it's like, well, actually, you're giving him vocal cues, so he's not deaf. You a-hole. He is actually able to walk. Not only that, but he's not. May not be 100% blind. May able to follow lights and colors and trying their best. And so you have painted the story of how terrible they are, when really you haven't cured anything, and you've like I said earlier, like a trained guinea pig, we have now gotten a pat in the head, and we've gone through the maze. Thank you. But if you actually do a test,
I prefer a pat on the stomach.
I would say belly rubs. Hypocrite should be cursing himself in the grave, hearing such things. Hypocrites.
And they make money. They make money off this shit. They prey on the sometimes the, I hate to say the weakest, but I guess if you're suffering from disease or illness, the weakest, maybe the poorest among us, because imagine freaking all of our medical bills here, and I'm sure in other countries, well, wherever, whatever, and they're preying off people who need it the most.
And I would like to add one more thing. I think you will have a lot of Indians in America. So they might come and claim to you that we have a patent for cow dung and cow urine, how that is curable cancer. They'll show you one research paper, and they'll tell.
Doing a PSA. No, it doesn't. PSA. Just putting it out there. No, it does not.
Well, you just threw it out there.
Just throw it out there. But if it did, then go get it empirically tested, because we make fun of a lot of things that are weird. You know, I think there is truth to the fact that you could pee on a jellyfish wound, or not a wound, when it actually stings you. Nonetheless, I'm pretty sure if you have cancer, you should go see a doctor. In fact, even if you have a jellyfish, probably you should go see a doctor. That's right. There's 3 drugs JS used: money, power, and sex. Yeah, he used a lot of the same techniques that we're actually talking about today. He was a prolific con artist, a convicted con artist. So, frig Joseph Smith.
Yeah. So, in India, right, they currently...
Sorry, I can't help myself. No, you're good to talk.
Yeah, let me continue. So
at the commander level.
Yeah. So in India, actually, you will have common people drinking cow urine. They even eat cow dung, and they'll say,
"Oh boy."
I actually have a video as well, but it's there in my channel. Literally, an Indian doctor eats cow dung, and he says, pregnant women need not do the surgery and all. They'll get very good kids if they eat cow dung.
I love the confidence in that. I love the confidence.
Oh. Hey, Randolph. We got Randolph out there in chat.
What is up, Randolph? And it doesn't really seem to matter which religion. That's the other thing, is that it's these charismatic leaders, whoever this, I guarantee you, a guru or a priest or a pastor that is administering an imam, a rabbi. It doesn't matter who they are. They all seem to
one fraud is
empirical testing.
Yeah. But one problem
they need to call Dr. Dino.
Yeah, but I would like to highlight one problem, especially when we talk about pseudoscience. The claim, like when Muslim claims that camel urine can cure something, they tell about some patent back in 2013. Hindus will also tell cow urine is very sacred. It will cure everything. And they will tell to some American patent, which was published recently, and they'll say, look at this patent. It cures everything. It is curing cancer, everything. They'll make such claims. I want
to parse out 2 things. The first thing I want to say is, as a burger, and I feel as an American I can't call myself a burger. I very much think the cow is undervalued in here. I think the cow is awesome. They are cool. They, I think we should be nicer to cows, and I think that we should treat them better. Nonetheless, as much as I love them, you cannot heal yourselves with any urine or anything that comes out of the backside. I want to just say I'm pretty sure that's true for really any animal that I'm aware of so far. So we could just put that down for all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we use feces to plant really healthy and eventually delicious vegetables. We use manure to actually have decent agriculture. Nonetheless, that doesn't mean you should spread it on a wound. I mean, we just need to be rational and logical about these things, and I feel like we can. No matter where we are on the planet, no matter which religion we used to come from. And that is the key thing, because, oh man,
can we be plausible and probable?
We all start to see that this is all nonsense. Why is the key here religion?
And one of the problem with religion is it's patriarchal. That's common thing. And it's always the man who has some sort of command when it comes to, even if you talk about if you look at faith healers and also called, it's always the man who does that. I mean, he doesn't say, see, women does it or someone else does it.
Well, I will say the power dynamic. It really doesn't matter who you are. You want to be, I'm sure whether you're a priest or a guru, you want to be looked on as this elder, this respected, wise person that can transfer in more ways than one their information to you. And yet these people are not trained for nothing. We should be investing our time and energy in people who have doctors in front of their names.
Yeah. And
like the guy I'm going to debate.
The problem in India is Hindu god statues get treated when they get cold. I mean, there is a statue of Hindu god. Okay. So there is a temple in India, we call it as Jagannath temple. There, doctor took the stethoscope, put it in the heart of the statue, and checked whether he is all fine or not. I mean, any opinion on this sort of thing? I mean, I have not heard, but it has really happened.
It reminds me of sainthood with all those statues. People think they can go up and touch a saint or a statue and get healed, that they'll give them luck.
Relics of saint, the bone of the saint.
All of the stuff. I mean, there is one proven method that we know of for cancer, and it is chemotherapy. And it sucks balls. I am sending love to my brother, who is a cancer survivor at a young age, in his 30s. I'm not, we make and we throw jokes around because the other option is to cry at how big a douchebags these people are for taking advantage of our loved ones, of taking money, time. Well, I was going to go in the opposite, but time and energy, let me tell you, some of the most valuable assets. You don't realize it when you're young, because I'm so old. But as you get older, you start to realize how much time and the energy to do stuff with that time is of value. And especially with people who really can see the clock coming down. The audacity of these people, no matter what religion, no matter what name or label they want to put on themselves, to take advantage of people when they should know that faith healing does not work. I reiterate, faith healing does not work. It has never worked. I can't say that it never will, but so far, not a good track record.
Yeah. And I think I would say coming to 21st century, I recently heard one thing. Google is creating a cloud database where even before a lab comes to know about a pandemic, Google is going to get an alert that there is going to be pandemic, there is going to be problem with certain things, biological diseases. So Google is creating a massive database. And future, you would say data playing a critical role, an important role in curing various diseases, or at least helping the medical to know how to track these and have a standard procedure of treating them. You would see that very more in a very precise way, and it's already happening. I think if you look at coronavirus example is there, that we came to know through online, we came to know through uh, our internet and all those sort of things immediately, and we started taking precautions. We started looking at the symptoms the Google provides. It tells the data and tells the number and also locates the region. It helped people take early precautions to avoid the infection. So data plays, I think, a very important role. Faith healing doesn't, but in a medical system, data plays a big role in a very big way to help track the disease early in its stage and sort of prevent it. I mean, people compare coronavirus with Spanish flu and so forth, but one thing to keep in mind is people could not detect Spanish flu early enough. Coronavirus was. So over a period of 100 years, we have managed the technological evolution enough to know about the diseases which come up immediately and look at it into it. That's one great progress we have made. But if you look at procedure, we may need to work on it. I mean, whether the standard procedure works or whether we need new type of treatment, new technology in treatment, I think there is a scope for it, which is always open. But faith healing in 21st century, in this day and age, there is very less probability. I mean, if you pick up 10 people, two or three out of, at least two out of, I would say, may claim to get cured out of faith healing. But the rest of the 8, science has a track record, like 8 out of the 10 get cured with the modern day medical procedure. So one thing we need to keep in mind, that we have 7.8 billion population. I mean, it may not be easy, but if health system are made flexible enough and yet advanced and integrated with our data system, I think you have a very high potential that in future people can extend their life to 100 years. More people live up to more like 100 years or so. So it's already happening. In future, there is a chance that it will happen.
And we already know that if we put side by side religion and science, which one has made us live longer? I think we know which would come out in that. And I am going to say which would come out in that match. We're going to answer as I choke on air. God damn you, good design. But we're going to say this, and we're going to add the Afro-humanist. Randolph Richardson says, I have a question about the topic. Who's the lady named Faith? That's my sister. No. What is up?